piece I've been working on that is still searching for a title. Tentatively, or at the moment, it's What Happens When Dad Dies. I'm going to start a few pages in. It is the parts you need to know. There is the main character is a father. He is in his office on a Saturday with his son, and there's been a couple urgent calls trying to get to him while he's there, and he's been ignoring those phone calls. He's finally listened to the messages and is returning the call of his sister, where we enter the story. After the video starts, he takes a cell phone with him and steps away from his office. His sister picks up on the first ring. "What's up, Heidi? Dad is dead." Wow, that's big news. He expected a tale of a new divorce or an affair or maybe an intestinal problem requiring surgery. He is not sure what to say, and he is silent. "There was a car crash. He glanced off some of the car and ran across the road into a barricade or something," she continues. "That's not what I was expecting," he says finally. "Yes, I know. Can you believe it? I'm not sure I believe it." "Huh?" he says. "He's only 69. He died in a car crash? She wasn't telling me everything." "Huh? She? Julie? Why would she lie?" "I don't know, but I don't think that's the whole story. I need you to find out more. I think she said it happened 2 days ago. If that was the case, why did she take so long to call? Was he drunk? I don't know. Something is up. Julie must know more about it. Just call her and you'll see. Shouldn't we leave her alone for a bit?" "Leave her alone? Why would we do that? We're his children. We deserve to know what's going on. Something isn't right." "But I don't even know her. What can I ask her?" "Ask her for the whole story. She said he was returning from a baseball game by himself and he died in a car crash. That's not believable. Something must be up." "Yes," Mark echoed in his thoughts. How could he have died in a car crash? They both had the utmost confidence in his father's driving ability. For years, his expectation had been that his father would die early, that there would be a long, drawn-out death of emphysema or cancer. There would be dinners with his father sucking on oxygen tubes while he set things straight, and then forgiveness during a long and final hospital stay in a tent. The news is not believable, but in the end, does it matter? "Why didn't you ask?" he says. He doesn't want to call. I was too surprised, and she ended the call. She says, "I think it's a trick. We're being taken advantage of. I don't know why, but you have to call her and find out what happened." The voice that answers is rough, harsher than he expects. He thinks back and asks himself if he has spoken to her before. The timing is poor to have begun this conversation. The connection is bound to drop. He is on the bridge and about to enter the Treasure Island Tunnel on his way home to Oakland. He and Robert stopped at McDonald's, and he wolfed his down before they even drove the 5 minutes from McDonald's to the bridge. Robert is picking at his. His mother has taught him that McDonald's is unhealthy, and he won't eat it. Mark has said that McDonald's is practically home cooking, and that's what one needs in times of stress. But now that the call has started, he puts his hand on his belly and feels guilty about the choice in food. He is certain that this is the first time he has spoken to Julie. He knows she and his father have been married more than 7 years, but suspects it might be more than 10. Should he acknowledge either of these points with her? It's awkward to point out the fact that he doesn't know her. He hates the awkwardness and wishes he hadn't called. He slows in the tunnel and glances in the mirror at his son. The boy is concentrating on but not eating French fries. After the greeting, he jumps straight into it so she won't have to say anything more. "My sister reached me. I know the news." He wishes he had searched his computer before he left for a proper protocol. What does a firstborn son say to a father's fifth wife when the father dies? Does Google know? Should he have said he knows his father is dead instead of the odd wording about news? It all seems wrong, but he doesn't know what would be right. She doesn't respond. "I'm so sorry for you," he adds, getting a better grip on propriety, and trying to include some empathy in his tone. "Yes," she says. Her voice is softer than before, but still seems hard and brief. He can't read it. He wonders how old she is. Her voice sounds very old, but his sister had once said that she was only 2 years older than him. Is that possible? Their conversation has stopped, and the silence is awkward. He looks at his dashboard for words to fill the silence. He wants to find a way off the phone, so he repeats himself. It's so surprising and unexpected. I'm very sorry for you. Hang on, Mark. I'm turning into the hospital. He waits, but she doesn't say anything more. He thinks that he hears a horn, and it's only then that he realizes that she is driving as well. This thought calms him. He can wait. He looks out from the bridge and sees that Angel Island stands like a solid golden mass in the shimmering blue bay. He feels stronger and ready to talk to her, to learn what happened. Okay, Mark, I've stopped. What did you say? Only that this is so surprising. You must be in shock. Yes, it's a shock, but I'm holding up. But then she is not. Suddenly he hears her crying, loudly and uncontrollably. Hey, Julie, it's okay. Should I let you be? We don't need to talk now. No, it's okay. I'll stop. I just don't know what I'm going to do. Yes, what are you going to do? She doesn't stop. She sobs even more loudly. His questions hang in the air, and he wishes he could pull it all back. Why isn't there a recall function for the phone, he thinks to himself. Just like email, these phones need a way to pull back the last few words. He doesn't know what he meant by the question, and he doesn't know what she can say. I loved him so much. I don't know how I'll get by without him. You must know what I mean. He has no idea what to say. She continues to sob. Yes, I know what you mean. He lies. It's hard for him to imagine anyone feeling so strongly about his father. It's just. She can't get it out, so he tries to finish for her. He took great care of you, didn't he? Yes, and so much more than that. I don't know what I can do. She sobs, and he is silent while he searches outside his windows for words that make up an appropriate response. Finally, he says, well, what can I do? What are you going to do for him? She sobs for another minute. He has no more words. The bridge girders continue to roll by, and he has nearly reached the end of the bridge. He watches the grid of the overdeck, which reminds him of the rows in a cemetery. He has never made that association before. The sobbing begins to subside, and then the sound of his rolling tires is the loudest thing in the car for a few moments. He wonders if he should hang up. Her voice is soft and gentle when she answers. Jim didn't want anything. He didn't want a service. Oh, yes. He pretends that's what he meant by his question. He honestly doesn't know what he was asking of her. I think Dad said to me that the last time he was here. She doesn't continue, and he feels like she is making a request. He says what he thinks he is supposed to say. Well, I can easily fly out. We're going on vacation in New York next week, but I could come to Florida first. That's not necessary. That would be wonderful. No need to go out of your way. The closing of her car door registers in his ear. Okay, well, he stops. Is he obligated to go? He suspects he has trapped himself and wants to get off the phone to evaluate the options. Mark, I'm at the funeral home. Can I call you later? He is relieved by the diversion, but remembers now why he had called and can't stop himself. Well, yes, but Heidi wasn't clear about one thing. When did he actually die? Last night. I told her that. Oh, okay. He knows he shouldn't leave it at that. His sister will want more information. But he wants to get off the call before he commits himself any deeper into the situation. Okay, I'll call later. Thanks, Mark, for listening to me cry. Yes, thanks, Julie. I'll talk to you later. The phone goes silent before his last word finishes, and he looks around at his surroundings. 5 miles have slipped away, and he is in the maze of freeway exchanges a few moments from home. It seems like a different place.